This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope, savior of basketball has won.
The Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Ajay Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. He lived a whole life.
Plain.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right. Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. You can contact Aaron via call or text message, 405-773-5500, or Drew, 405-478-7714. Listen, you're going to need somebody in your corner because if you own a home or a car, you got to have insurance. It's the law, and you might as well have somebody that can also be a good friend and somebody that you trust. So please give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me, as always, on Mondays is my good friend Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Well, the regular season is here, and it's so much fun. I mean, I'm having a blast watching these guys. I mean, we are yet to see J-Dub and whatnot, but boy, oh boy, there is a lot to talk.
Yeah, there is. There's a whole lot to talk about. So I think we should start here. Shea is having a ridiculous start to this season. He is unstoppable. If you guard him too closely, you know what? He's going to bait you into a foul. And you know what? I challenge any of you guys to go find fouls that are fake. And if you want to bellyache about fouls online, you are a true loser, because go watch and see. He's getting fouled on all of them.
Yeah.
The problem is no one is a good enough defender. And you know what? Dyson Daniels did an awesome job and didn't foul. And it didn't matter because he found ways to score anyways. Yeah. You know what? Just try to stop him. That's the rest of the NBA's job. For everybody that's just whining about it online, you're all losers. And listen, Shea has 120 points through 3 games. That's the most points of any Thunder player ever through 3 games. Only one other player has broken 100 through 3 games, which trivia, who is that player?
First 3 games or general 3 game span?
First 3 games of the season.
Huh.
Not just like any 3 game span, but first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, any 3 game span is probably way more players. I want to say that it's not PG because I don't remember him scoring 30.
Not PG.
Not PG.
His 2 years he was here, he scored 64 in his first 3 games of the Thunder, and then in the 18-19 season, the first 3 games, he was 76 points.
Yeah, that I remember. I want to go with Russ.
Russell Westbrook is correct. What year?
MVP, either MVP or the 2015-16 season. I would guess MVP.
MVP. Yeah, it's not that hard to guess.
No.
16-17. He had 116 points through 3 games.
Wow.
Nobody else broke 100.
I made it too long, but anyhow.
Yeah. 15-16 season, he had 96 points. I think that's the third.
Yeah, I remember him being awesome in spots in that season. And I kind of had him in the back of my head that he was very good to start.
Yeah, you look at like KD's second which is Katie's second year in the league, his first year with the Thunder. He had 56 points through 3 games. You kind of forget how good Shea was to start his career with the Thunder. In the 1920 season, he had 73 points through 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already really good. And now Shea has this very obscure record that I'm sure that we'll forget about. But this start has been pretty ridiculous. And they've needed it. Like, there's no question, with J-Dub being out and not having your full complement of players throughout these 3 games. Like, yeah, you're going to need it. And Chet kind of struggling as Indy. Like, yeah, you need all 120 points, but quite a start for Shea. And he looks unstoppable. And I get why people are crying about it, because it's like, what else do? We just cry. We just cry online about it and act like he's doing something that's unfair. But if you actually watch the game or even care about basketball in general, and have watched basketball throughout the history of the game, you would know that this is just one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. And what he's doing is only unfair because guys don't know how to stop him.
Yeah, and if we want to be suppose that we want to go behind the guys online in terms of, hey, let's follow your train of thoughts, which I don't want to do that, but let's pretend. We have a game where he went against one of the best defenders in the NBA, according to the media. He had four free throws. He scored 30 in 3 quarters. What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
He missed 1 shot against them from 2-point range. 1. That is how great Shea is. Period. You want to talk about the fouls? Yeah, do that. If it pleases you, do that. Continue to do that. Continue to tell yourself the story. We are witnessing one of the greatest scorer that the NBA has ever watched. That's how good Shea is. He may be, by the end of his career, one of the top 5, top 8 guards in the history of this game. He can get there. I mean, right now you can. I mean, I don't have the names in my head, but there are many multiple MVPs, guys with titles, guys with a resume that is higher than the one of Shea today.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just project his career out, which is really tough, but I think that he has the talent of Jordan, Kobe, Shea. I think that's where that's where this will stand at the end of it.
Yeah,
those 3, as long as he stays healthy and can continue to compete at a very high level. Yeah, so far through 3 games, he is 12 of 15 in the restricted area. He's 8 of 11 in the paint non-restricted area. And he's 14 of 26 from mid-range.
14 of 26?
14 of 26. That's almost 54% in the mid-range. I mean, he's just been completely unstoppable. And whenever guys have to overplay him because he can be so manipulative with his body and the ball, he's going to get fouled.
Yeah.
And so there's just nothing that anyone can do with Shea at this point. This is just the kind of player that he is. I mean, yeah.
And you can clearly see, I think it was the Athletic, probably Dave. Sorry. It was saying that Shea looks even more poised. The game looks way slower for him compared to anybody else. So it's not my take. It's someone else's. I think it's Dave, but I don't remember. So yeah, it's been great to watch because he's really in control. There are jumpers where you can clearly see that he is about to take it, and the defender can do just nothing about it. Mm-hmm. And it's pure. When you see him taking it, it's more calm, it's more composed, and it's just going in.
Yeah.
The final shots that he had against Indiana and even against the Rockets, those were just in control, just killer shots, and
Yep.
it's wow. Like,
Yeah, it's been really fun seeing him play so far this season. Now I want to see them against like some really good competition. Obviously, the Rockets, that was an incredible game. You're playing against a Pacers team that was undermanned. You played against a Hawks team that was undermanned. Tonight they're playing against a very, very, very weird Mavericks team. Then they have this stretch. They got the Kings Tuesday night in OKC. They got the Wizards Thursday night in OKC. Then they got Pelicans at home Sunday afternoon. And then they go on this kind of strange road trip. But then they have, well, and we'll see. Luka could possibly be back. I hope he is by the 12th of November. But then they have a back-to-back that's Warriors-Lakers. And like that's where it's like, okay, it'll be really interesting to see those two games. But and the Clippers too. Like the Clippers, there's something there with that Clippers team when they decide to play.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll play against that team. They'll play against that Thunder team.
Doobie Doobie Doo says in the chat that the Mavs game seems like a trap. I think he is kind of right, but also, I mean, I would be so pissed if this is a trap game.
Yeah, Mavs are on second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, that counts.
So I would agree to an extent, but I don't know.
Yeah, they just need to have like
a team. Like this team is not super. We saw it last year. They lost one game to the Eastern Conference. Like they're not super susceptible to like these trap games.
Yeah.
You know, like the Westbrook PG Melo team. Like every game was a trap game for that team.
Yeah. Are you implying that you want to punt the Mavs to the Eastern Conference to make them fun?
Oh, there's about nothing that would make that team fun. You watched any Mavs?
Yeah, just a few glimpses, not a full game. Yeah, it's
enough.
It's weird. They are weird. They were weird.
Yeah, they're weird.
Conceptually already, but yeah, the implementation looks the same. War is a word that I mean, it's not to be used there, but I'm curious to see what kind of 3-point percentage we will have tonight, because it's pretty clear to me that OKC played better than the results in the first two games, and in the third one where they had normal percentage, not like super duper ones, they just destroyed the Hawks. I mean, the plus 17 doesn't really cut it in terms of what the product that was in the court.
Yeah.
So I really wonder if you get like a normal game from Jay Will, which he is bound to probably, in a normal game from someone else shooting the basketball, then you have just you probably eclipse them.
Yeah, Jason Potter in the chat says McMahon says that Lively and Gafford are likely out, so they'll be forced to play an actual correct lineup with 80 at the 5 and Flag at 4. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's good news for OKC. Like they're a lot easier without Lively and Gafford.
Yeah, I mean,
so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do against the Thunder. But the Thunder, and we don't know if Chet's playing. He's questionable with his back soreness, and I guess his thumb is okay after it was dislocated and pop back into place. I know that sometimes that can be pretty sore, and if he does play, wouldn't be super shocked to see him wearing something on his hand, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then obviously J-Dub is still out, and Caruso's still out in concussion protocol, but everybody else that's expected to be out is, and then like Kaysen's still in, and all that. So the Thunder have a good enough complement of players and the best player on the floor tonight.
And the best player off the bench. I feel that we buried the lead too much. I mean,
I know.
AJ,
I'm trying to like push it back just a little bit because I could spend the rest of the show now talking about Ajay Mitchell.
Okay, then we can't talk about Lou Dort if you want, or the fact that Kaysen is turning himself into boy is really is even more disruptive. I think that we all expect to see from him, just being better at the point of attack. But it's sometimes I just don't understand how the steal is made. I mean, he does stuff that I need to watch like 2 times in order to understand how he was able to poke the ball free or to just do the stuff that he does. And I think that one of the little things that I'm seeing from Kazan is this pick and roll chemistry with High Heart. That is something that I really, really enjoy. I mean, it's a lot of dunks. It's timely pick and roll application, very simple reads, but also very effective. And it's something that can really give the offense something when he's initiating the offense, which is something that OKC is trying to do a lot. Again, right now, not really fancy reads, but you need them. You need on-ball reps for Kazan, I think, and it's good that he and High Art are developing some sort of chemistry, which again gives OKC another option.
Yeah, iHeart is so helpful to these guards, like Kaysen, AJ, and Shea. I mean, it's just to have a guy that can help you in the pick and roll. That you'll have some guys that are like pick and roll guys that are just they just kind of dive to the rim, but iHeart's timing and is just overall court awareness. Is so helpful to them. I just think like it kind of helps push those guys forward a little bit more. Just the fact that they have him out there.
Yeah, it's hard to see him missing a read, like seeing him in the wrong spot. It's almost like it happens. Sure, there are some miscommunications here and there, defense and offense. It happens to everybody. But for iHeart, it's very few mistakes, and he really processes the game and has a knack for, hey, I'm doing a screen, maybe I'm not diving, I'm re-screening immediately because I saw something that may help us down the road. And he is fantastic with those reads. And again, you said it perfectly. He helps the development also of these guards so much because of the fact that he is always in the right spot and makes the correct read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One interesting trend that I will be curious to see how OKC kind of corrects this is the amount of time they're spending in the half court. And some of this could be like the opponents that they played. Like playing against Indy, especially without a point guard, like they're going to try to grind the game to a halt. Obviously, the Rockets were that way too. Atlanta, not so much. Like they don't necessarily want to play a ton in the half court. But you look at cleaning the glass and the stat that they have for percentage of time spent in the half court, percentage of plays spent in the half court. The Thunder are number 1, and with the percentage of plays, which is also in their rankings like 30th, because you don't necessarily want to be that much in the half court. And I don't think this team wants to be in the half court this much, but 84.6% of their plays are in the half court right now. I don't think that's necessarily what they want. Although, like, hey, we're playing in the half court. We're going to play in half court in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know if this is necessarily by design or if it's just by necessity at this point. But if the games feel a little bit more of like a slog, there's a reason for that. I mean, they're well above where some of these other teams are, like San Antonio and Washington, Detroit, Miami. Miami's like they're 10 percentage points lower.
Yeah,
like it's a lot. It's quite a bit. Like they're playing pretty slow when it comes to just half court basketball. It's a lot of half court basketball for OKC, which league average is 77%, and they're at 84%.
Yeah, and it's if you count like 100 and change possession, it means that they are 25 possessions more, which sounds over 3 games sounds like a lot. They also played a lot of overtime, which I mean, you're probably a little bit tired there, and you probably play a little bit more in the half court compared to normal games. And you also played one game against the Rockets where they are rebounds machine. So mean, with that, you have less opportunity for quick transition. So I would wait a bit. It's something that is probably a little bit skewed by the type of game that they played compared to some
100%.
willingness. But also,
I think they'll play faster once they get everybody back and they play 20 teams instead of 3 teams. So like a lot of this data is like really not great to use at this point. Like you look at last year, 16.1% of the time, according to Cleaning the Glass, was their transition frequency. And right now they're at 10%, which is them and the Rockets are at 10%. There's nobody else in that range. So like they'll get faster. And now that they have more guys that can bring the ball up the court and run like AJ, and when Topic comes back, like they're going to have guys that can help you get up and down the court faster because of their ability to run. And so I would expect them to be, 16, 17% of the time in transition is kind of where I would see them at the end of the day. But right now it's been a bit of a slog, and we'll see how it goes tonight. I mean, the Mavs don't really have a true point guard. They're relying on D'Angelo Russell to be their point guard, and so you could see this being. Hopefully, the Thunder get back on track and like really turn them over. Because if you look at like transition points, the Thunder are I think they're at the top of the league in terms of like points per 100 possessions in transition. Like they're scoring.
They've been very efficient. Yeah,
they're scoring at will in transition so far this season, which is not surprising. So they're number one by a large margin. 156 points per play per 100 possessions. League average is 122. So I'd say they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Not really sustainable. Another point against the fact that OKC is able to run in transition right now is the fact that they don't have many grab-and-go guys, especially with the starting unit. I mean, Shea can grab and go, but Lou doesn't really. He wants to do that, but it's not really always effective. Chet and Iart, no. Kaysen is not really a grab and go. J-Dub is a great grab and go. So not having him is already by design putting away some transition opportunities for OKC just because of the fact that he's a good enough rebounder with the ability to just run the court and create a transition opportunity. So again, whenever he's back, those numbers will probably go higher in terms of frequency and probably going a little bit down in terms of efficiency because 1.5 is a no. Maybe 1.3 is achievable by some very good, wise team that picked the transition opportunities wisely and maybe they just don't go whenever they are 1 against 2 and stuff like that. But it's 1.5. It's a no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick break and we come back. We're going to talk about Ajay Mitchell. I want to talk about what he's done so far, how he's looked, maybe a little bit how he got here, and then I would like to discuss where does he rank in terms of like on-ball creators in the history of the Thunder. We're going to kind of talk that out right after this quick break. And we're back after that quick break. I first want to tell you about our good friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brennan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for the front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house, which is really the clear differentiator here for Ring Family Dentistry. Offering it in-house is kind of crazy. You should give them a call today. You can schedule an appointment at 405-621-1555, or you can make an appointment at ringfamilydentistry.com. A bit of news before we talk AJ. Dylan Jones was picked number 1 in the G League draft. So congrats to Dylan Jones.
Wow. Made by?
Hanging out in the G. The Blazers.
Wow.
I believe they traded for him. So
Nice. I mean, I hope that you put the Bob Morkia ad because I had the perfect car story to tell you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna pull up the injury report real quick, and which is still the same. Anyways, Chet's still questionable. Caruso's out. Isaiah Joe's still out with this knee contusion, and then Topo Chico, J Dub, and Kenrich are all out. So, all right, continue. Tell me this crazy story about your car keys.
So crazy story. I had like a very, very early wake up on Friday. Had to travel for work. So I take my car, prepare everything. I'm 15, 20 minutes early. Said, okay, what can I do for my wife? I take away the garbage. And so I put the garbage in the car and the car keys are completely gone. I have the AirTag. It's not working. So I said, okay, well, I probably left them somewhere in my house. I go put away the trash, go in my work day, come back 12 hours later. The keys are nowhere to be found. So, I mean, in Italy, you cannot go into the garbage bin and search because it's actually a felony. So I said, well, okay.
Felony.
Not in yours, in the one, the public ones where we throw out like paper and plastics.
Yeah.
It's a felony, so you cannot do that.
Wow.
So I go to the police and say, well, I lost my keys. I have to report that because my insurance and blah, blah, blah. And I go, can I search the garbage? And he said, no, it's a felony, but the keys might be in there. I said, well, in this case, but do it now so I know and I don't go and report you. So long story short, I find myself into the plastic bin and I found them at the
They were
bottom.
in there. They were actually in there.
Yes. So I go back to the stinky me goes back to the police station with the keys, and basically I take away the report and everything goes fine and well.
Wow. A convicted felon here on Down to Dunk.
Exactly. He said, okay, you can do that, but just in the next half an hour, and I will not go and check.
Something else that someone else should be convicted felon is Sam Presti for getting the steal of the draft 2 years ago, and Ajay Mitchell, who through 3 games this season is averaging 18.7 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 0.3 turnovers per game, shooting 46% from the field, 41.7% from 3. AJ has had a ridiculous start to his season. You look at his attempts and his percentages in the restricted area. Like, this guy's just a walking paint touch, which I think is like one of the key differences between like him and some of these other Thunder role players is his ability to create. He's shooting 76.9% in the restricted area so far. He's got 13 attempts in the restricted area through 3 games. You look at other players that have around that same amount. Austin Reeves went crazy, has 13. Donovan Mitchell has 13. Steph Curry has 13. I mean, we're talking like he's an elite company. Like Cade Cunningham has 14. Jalen Brunson has 14. Shea has 15. There are guys that are shooting a little bit better. I've separated this out into guards, but there's also guys in here like Asar Thompson who does like some stuff off the dribble, but a lot of it's off cuts. Like Shaedon Sharpe is probably a guy that's certainly has the ball in his hands more than Asar, but there's still some stuff off cuts. I think Stephon Castle has had a really strong start as a guard. But like, these are the kind of guys that we're talking about that he's playing like these guys. Like, he is amongst this class of player so far this season. He has been outrageously efficient as he gets to the basket. The only thing that he's really struggled with, and I really want to see how this evolves, is like in the paint non-restricted, he's 6 of 15, he's 40%, and then he's 0 of 5 from mid-range. But the guy has he had this in his game already, and I think just playing with Shea and watching Shea every single day is going to help him with this. But his ability to just stop on a dime and get a mid-range shot whenever he wants it is there. Like, that's in his bag.
Yeah.
He just needs to be able to hit that shot. And when he starts to hit that shot, things are going to open up for him. He's shooting 41% from 3. He can take it off the bounce. He can take it off the catch. He does a little bit of everything. And then defensively, I think is one of the areas where he's improved the most.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And so I do know that he is a crazy hard worker. And when I talked to him at Media Day, just talked about how he worked on his body a lot. And he basically took a week off after summer league and then has been working his tail off since then. Nothing crazy, nothing there's nothing revolutionary about the way he worked. He just worked. He just worked really, really hard. And you can tell that he is some guys, when they put on weight, they get a little bit slower. But he's somehow gotten stronger, up in his shoulders and chest. And he is just as fast, if not faster, than he was last year when he was healthy, and has kind of remade his body. And in doing so, I think he's a much better defensive player too.
Yeah, which is the most impressive part. And
100%.
It's it's all very impressive so far. And the beauty of his game is that it looks like something that it's not artificial. It's not something where say, oh yeah, I had a great game. There are motions that he has, movements that he can get to, which are very high level. I mean, one of the baskets that he made, I think it was against the Pacers or the last game, and I don't really remember which one, but he had this half hook when he basically froze his defender, then started the dribble with his left hand and just had this semi hook / layup, which was
Nikhil. It was Nikhil that he did that too. It's
yeah,
not
against Nikhil.
It wasn't just some guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's not doing that against. He's playing in summer league against regular, I would say in some cases, very good defenders. So he's really getting paint touches as much as he wants and where he wants them, because the core strength and the upper strength that he build are there to see, there to watch. I mean, last year when he was getting at the rim, he was easily moved from his trajectory. Easily. Yeah. Right now is not the case. Now, the scouting report on Ajay Mitchell is not fully formed, probably. So we will likely see a regression in, I would say, middle of the season, where teams are starting to send him right, not allowing him left, send him right every single time. Maybe pushing him into areas of the court where he's not taking shots. For example, the right area where he starts from many times, but he doesn't like to take shots from there. So there will be adjustments like that. And I mean, we should not be disappointed if it's not working for him on the right hand, because I do remember COVID year, Shea was not able to get points with the same efficiency going left. A year later, he can go left, and he's actually almost better when he goes left. So we will see that regression, but the way in which he plays, the spot up shooting, the defense, the passing, he had a pass to Hartenstein. I said, wow. I had to rewatch it, because in semi-transition, like a dart with his left hand in the running pocket, not the shooting pocket of Hartenstein, like beautiful stuff, high level, I would say, thinking of the game. And defense, if you have those two things plus shooting, you are an NBA player, and a very good one. If you add what he's having at the rim, then we are talking about something more.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it's not just the scoring, it's his ability to pass the ball. He's such a dynamic offensive player. that this team really needed. Like they needed another guy like that in the playoffs. And I know he played for just a small amount of time against the Pacers, but it like
out of rhythm.
he was out of rhythm. It was just like, let's just try it. But that also was kind of like a signal to everybody that like Mark Daigneault and the coaching staff really believe in this player.
Yeah.
Like this is one of their guys. Yeah. And a guy that hadn't touched the court in a long time, and a guy that was not really ready to play high level NBA basketball, but like the belief in him was still existed within the coach, so much so that they were like, I just want to try it just to see what it looks like in the NBA finals, by the way, which one just shows like how awesome of a coach Mark is to play for. I mean, like, it's just has to be a dream to be able to play for this guy. But also shows just like they know that there's something really special about this particular player.
Yeah.
And he's starting to show it now. And yeah, there could be a regression, but also when Dub comes back, and if he gets to play, I can't wait to see him play minutes with Shea. Like him and Shea playing together is awesome because like they'll screen for each other and create like just these downhill opportunities that are unstoppable. But whenever you get those three on the court with Chet, and you just like throw Caruso out there, throw Dort out there, throw Kaysen out there, whoever, throw iHeart out there too. Like, I mean, those four guys together, like how dynamic the offense can be with those four, where you have to guard AJ on a catch and shoot three in the corner. You have to guard him when he's got the ball on the move. I mean, I think that will unlock so much, where at times they looked there were times against Denver in particular and against Indy. Give credit to Indy and what they did in the finals, but there were times against both those teams where it looked like, man, the Thunder are just in the mud. Like they could not find their way out. And they really needed somebody else that could be a little bit more dynamic with the ball. And, you know, like the guy who stepped up was Alex Caruso in many spots. But AJ's just
it's different.
He's just a way more dynamic player than Caruso is. And it's no shade at Caruso or Kaysen or Dort or any of those guys. There's a place for all of those guys, obviously. But to add a guy like AJ to the mix, who I've heard on separate national shows him talked about as most improved and sixth man. Now it's crazy to on October 27th to be talking about awards. Like that is just absolutely nuts. Yeah. These are people like unprompted talking about like what this guy has looked like and done for the Thunder, and not even homers. We're not even talking about like listening in on like a fan show or something where they're like, oh, you should be this, you should be that. These are people that are just observing the league and have no allegiance to the Thunder or to Ajay Mitchell at all. But they're just, you can't help but like what you see out of this guy so far.
Yeah, how could you not? Like, and again, it's early. It's very early. But these are complete games. Do you remember when a few years ago we were discussing why Kaysen Wallace was so much better than Usman Jang in terms of career path was because complete games. The ability to have one game from top to bottom. Every time you step on the court, you have production. And Ajay Mitchell was able to do that, not always in the best lineups, because as you were saying, I mean, he was the de facto star in many of those lineups because, I mean, they used him, especially in the first two games, to basically play the non-Shea minutes. And whenever he plays off of Shea, he looks even good, if not better in general, but surely he can play in a complementary role with Shea. Imagine him with Dub, where he can feed Dub and also be fed off. So the ability of AJ, especially because of the fact that he seems like a very, very confident three-point shooter, especially off the catch, is that he can play whatever kind of role you want on offense. And if he can sustain defensively, then you have, again, a weapon that can be used even as a secondary piece, because as a as a front man, basically, you may have questions like, the scouting report would be out, and so if it's a prima donna, then probably the entire defense will focus on him, and the efficiency may drop. But if you think about him as a secondary player, then it's different. Then he has maybe not the first, not the second, maybe not even the third defender on him, on the other team, and he can just cook whoever is left, and that is where probably he can retain a lot of his efficiency and a lot of his production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting to think about the lineup possibilities with him out there and what they're going to be able to do. I think it's going to change the way that the Thunder play, and it's going to change what they look like as a team down the stretch. I have a hard time believing, and even though it is early, like it's not like he is having some like out of body experience shooting the basketball. It's not like he's having some out of body experience, as an offensive player where it's like, yeah, this is cool, but can you replicate this? There's a lot of players like that where it's like, I just don't know that they can replicate what they're doing. Like what he's doing is he's driving to the paint, using his body, getting into defenders.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those points too that are in the restricted area that I was just talking about, some of them are off offensive rebounds where he's putting back shots that are not easy. They're not just like wide open. He's getting the ball and putting it back. There are like well defended shots that he is able to get into the hoop. So it's just it's been so fun watching this early part of the season. Certainly they're 3-0. There's a lot of exciting things about this Thunder season, but like there's always something that always emerges when guys get hurt. Either you're always going to discover something. It's like, okay, now that somebody's hurt, we're going to discover, what we need. And it's not always good. I think when Andre Robertson got hurt with that mellow PG Westbrook team, we learned really fast that they need somebody on the perimeter that can kind of hold this defense together. And they picked up the backwards man off the scrap heap, and the drunken dribbler was like the guy that everybody needed in Corey Brewer. And it showed like some really serious flaws within that team. But right now, without J-Dub in the lineup, like it's a blessing in disguise to be able to see this guy take on a lot of possessions, to like be the true backup point guard. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. Taylor Venus in the chat, do you think Sam Vecini is already regretting not putting him higher than 12 in the 24 redraft? I mean, look at that draft. The problem, the answer may be yes. That class,
we can wait a bit.
That class just kind of stinks. But he's better than most of those guys. Like what guard do you feel 100% sure that they're better than him?
Let me see the NBA draft with all names.
I mean, McCain might be one. If Jared McCain,
if he can stay healthy, yes. Probably Stephon Castle is likely.
Yeah, Castle's really good. Castle has had a really nice start.
Yeah,
he's had a really, really nice start to the season.
So let's go from the beginning. Riza Shea is probably okay to put him ahead. Star, I don't know.
Let's just say guards. What guard would you put ahead of him?
Not Reed Shepard today.
Not Reed Shepard ever.
Come on, give him a little bit of grace. He's still young.
He can have grace. He can have grace, but he's still not as good as Ajay Mitchell.
Dillingham, no. Topic, no, because he didn't play. So
Topic is the obvious interesting one here, because it's already a talking point. Like we talked about it on this show, talked about it on the OKC Dream Team pod throughout the summer, even talked about it earlier today with Rylan and Brett Dawson and Derek Parker. But That is the one that is like the most interesting one. It's like, where does that whole thing go? And I feel a little bit bad for Topic just because he hasn't even gotten to play.
Yeah.
And good thing for Topic is like he plays for Mark Daignault and that he's not playing for Doc Rivers.
And that they can play together.
Yeah, they can
That
play
is the
together. for sure.
beauty of
Yeah,
AJ Mitchell. He doesn't
100%.
have to run point in order to be effective.
100%. That's
And
so
if he
true.
plays defense, then it opens up even more
Yeah.
of Topic. Because if you have two Sieves defensively, then you cannot play them together. If at least one is serviceable, then you probably can.
Yeah.
The thing that is astonishing is that if Mitchell is a guy, or if he blazes through the guy status into whatever is better than guy, I don't remember. In your
I mean,
scale.
he's reached guy status. He's full on guy.
Okay.
I mean, he's there, and I mean, after that, it's just like you're a full blown like starting level player in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know,
OKC has so many players
they
that
have a
will
lot of players.
be in. I mean, it's a little bit early. Let's wait 25 games, which is the wise thing to do. But it looks like OKC found another playoff player, and OKC has probably 11, 12 guys that can legit play in a role in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to say something when you were talking about Andre going down. I mean, that team has no idea how to replace him. And I mean, this team already knows how to play without Chet,
Mm-hmm.
how to play without Highheart, how to play without Dub, how to play without many of the components, with the exception of probably Lou Dort and Shea. But guess what? In case of Lou Dort, I have supreme confidence that even if they are not the same team, they don't have the same resiliency, not the same way of approaching basketball. I mean, they will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Without Shea, well, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it's not the point. It's not really the point. And I think that they will still be a decent team with Dub and Chad and Highheart and Mitchell and whoever, because they will still be good. They will not be clearly the same team. But that is, I mean, if you lose your guy, your superstar, then it's hard for everyone. It's unfair. And that's it.
Yeah, you're cooked. Like without Shea, this like you're cooked. Like you'll have a puncher's chance against somebody, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat anybody without Shea. But to have another dynamic guy like that in OKC is so fun. And like I just was thinking, like as far as like creators, like on-ball creators that have ever put on a Thunder jersey, I mean, it's clearly at the top: Shea, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Chris Paul, Paul George,
higher than a lot of them. Chris Paul,
Chris Paul, Paul George,
Dennis
Schroeder. Now I think we're in the AJ range.
Dennis is better. Was better when he was here.
But I think AJ, as he develops, can be that level or better.
I agree with the sentence. Can be that level or better. Yeah.
Yeah. And like then we have like Reggie Jackson, probably a level below that. He was just
same ballpark. Good Reggie was as good as Dennis.
Yeah, and he was a playoff level player too. Like he could step up in the playoffs off the bench for that.
He
team.
won them.
He had some moments. Yeah,
and Dennis did. So I really think that those are in maybe it's I would say they are in the likely range or possible ranges for AJ, but they are like way better just because they did it when it counted.
Yeah, and you know what? AJ hasn't had a chance to do it yet.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a chance to play on very high level basketball teams. and he's going to get a chance to do it. Josh Giddey is another guy that I guess we should mention if we're talking about creators for the Thunder as well. But like he's not like as dynamic of a creator because of the shooting, you know. And there are things that he's better at than what AJ is. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, he's definitely a better overall player. Josh Giddey, as we know, is a very weird player. And he's a really hard player
good one
to describe. But yeah, he's very good. Like I think he's gonna have a chance to make the All-Star team this year on the Bulls.
Wow.
So I think that's definitely in play for him. But that's just to say, like the Thunder are outrageously blessed.
No, Sebastian Telfair.
Sebastian Telfair. Had to throw in Telfair. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, like you look up and down this roster, and I mean, I see one guy that I'm like, yeah, I just 100% would not want him to play in the playoffs. That's not like won't count the two-way guys necessarily. But like everybody else, and
this is because you probably want them to play more than what you want Oos to play.
Yeah,
that's why
I mean, for sure.
You don't mention them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Youngblood, he's a shooter. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's give it a whirl. Barnheiser is just a crazy man. Yes, I'll take that. I'll take like crazy energy. Yes, I would take that. And then like Sorber is also, you know, he's obviously out for the season with the ACL injury, but you know, he's a guy that projects. Like he was super productive at Georgetown. Like this roster is in such a good place, and it needs to be because eventually they're not going to be able to keep everybody, but you can see like they are stacking role players to get there. I mean, you look at AJ's contract. AJ's contract could help the Thunder, you know, stay out of like the aprons, you know, like they can find ways to offload some guys and still feel very comfortable because he's at $3 million this year, 2.8 the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's just absurd. That's just absurd. That's just a great deal. It's been very exciting watching him, and I'm probably getting a little bit over my skis with this, but it's just really exciting to watch a guy, you know, develop over the summer, come back, and still show like this level of improvement this early on, and be given the opportunity to do it. And it's an outrageous blessing for this team and the fan base to be able to have this guy. And I look forward to continue to watch him. I'd say give him all the possessions against the Kings and just let him go to work, and let's see if he can do an Austin Reeves impression on Tuesday night. Wouldn't that be more fun than just like straight up playing the Kings? Like, all right, AJ, here's the game plan. You're the guy. I know they won't do that, but it's just man, it's just fun to think about what this team can be, and you know, AJ just getting this opportunity early on is super fun.
It is, and again, gives you an extra thing to watch on this season, which is already very interesting to see how they can go about their after championship season. I was listening to the Athletic show, and they were saying, wow, it would be cool if they go for 70. I have no idea if they would, but it's certainly interesting to see if this is how they approach it, if they win a lot or if they go to the rest as much as you can in a scientific, cerebral way to arrive at the, I don't know, first seed anyway, but not to really push for it. Not that doing one or the other says a lot about the team. It's probably something
they even pushed for it last year, and they won 68 games. Like, they didn't push for it. They had Chet out for a vast majority of the season. iHeart missed part of it. They played with no bigs for a couple weeks. I mean, like we're talking about, like they pushed to get 68. They didn't push to get 68. They just
I didn't say that.
Oh, I know
think that you have to push to win. To win like more than 70, you need to push a little bit more.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I would have said last year, if they're going to win 68 games, they're going to have to really go for it. And like after watching all the games that they played, all 82, we really think that they just like pushed and clawed and scrapped to get 68 wins and they were just exhausted?
No.
Not really. So I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm not saying they're going to win more than 70 games. I picked them to not do that. I don't think.
Yeah, I remember.
I think they will win less than that. But there's also, and Presti always talks about this. He talks about this like his press conference. Like they don't necessarily make like predictions or say like this is what we need to do. Like they just are open to like all these possibilities. And like the possibility of this team winning 65 games is out there. Like that's an awesome outcome. I mean, the second most wins ever in the franchise history. Yeah, that'd be great. But there's also like this sliver of possibility that exists that they are just so far ahead of everybody else that they win 75 games.
So so I'll go on the record saying that Andrew Schlecht's oof, it's late. Schlecht says that they will stumble upon 72 games. This is what he said.
They'll just fall backwards into 72 wins.
Exactly. They will casually play and win. No, I agree with what you say. It can be organical. It can be just they play well, they rest the guys, and they are so good that they win anyway. If that is the case, I mean, this could be one of the best teams ever if they are able to do that.
They're just so far ahead of everybody else. When you watch every other team play, like the Thunder are doing things that teams are starting to try to catch up to. But I think the Thunder have been like working toward this particular team for basically since their existence.
Yeah.
And it is elite point of attack defense, elite rim protection, elite guys that with the that can dribble and create on their own, and they can play 12 guys, 13 guys every night, and they're going to.
Yeah.
And they're going to not only play them, they're going to play them in mismatched order. They're not going to have anything that's super predictable. They're going to change their lineups to start the second half. They're going to shift the starting lineup around as needed. Like they're going to do things and be so much more dynamic than every other team in the league that I think that teams don't really know how to catch up to them. And you see teams trying to do wonky things like in Houston and Dallas. And like that's just what you're getting is like a wonky outcome. You see the Thunder doing things that are different. Like people be like, you can't every night play this many guys, and you can't have like your rotation be so out of sync. You know, that's how people kind of view it. But
it is in sync, but very different from everyone else.
Yeah,
and it's also why they can probably. I mean, to your point, if Shea can play on the road against Atlanta, which they didn't have the full roster by any means. No Risa Shea, no Porzingis, no Jalen Johnson. So they were not full squad. OKC wasn't either.
And they were on back-to-back too.
Yeah, they were on the second night of the back-to-back. So you can say disadvantage for the Hawks.
Yeah.
But they demolished them. And Shea had to play 28 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they play like this, where you can basically win a lot of games where Shea has to play 28 because you shoot the ball normally well. This is if you tell me that OKC ends up the season shooting around 39% from three or 38% from three on average, then I can see them winning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If they are not able to shoot that, then it's probably way harder because I mean the first two games they play they score below 30 and it's overtime. If they shoot normally, I mean I don't see many teams that can keep up with them.
Double help that with his creation ability and his shooting.
Yeah,
when he comes back,
will he take lefty threes?
He will not.
Just one.
He will not.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, I wish he would. That'd be cool. Floaters and layups, certainly.
Yeah, floaters, lefty floaters.
Yeah, we'll have lefty floaters, no question. Okay, thanks so much for listening to this episode. Hope everybody's having a great Monday, great beginning of the week. The Thunder play tonight in Dallas. They play tomorrow night in OKC against the Sacramento Kings, and then Thursday they play the Wizards here in OKC. So soft schedule, certainly, but still interesting things to discover as this team is still not quite healthy. I was going to check the injury report again before we got out of here because they update it every hour. Let's see if there's anything new for OKC. Chet Holmgren is available. I'm glad I checked it.
Yay!
So Chet will play. Kenrich, Dub, Topo Chico, Sorber, Isaiah Joe, and Alex Caruso remain out for OKC, with Caruso and Dub, and I really don't know what's going on with Isaiah Joe, but Caruso and Dub I don't think are going to be on the shelf for that much longer. So that's good news for Chet. Some weird stuff with his thumb being dislocated, and then he's clearly been struggling with his back. I think it was kind of rough in Indy, but good to see that he will be in the lineup tonight. So okay. All right. Appreciate you guys listening. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until the dawn, until the dawn.